Hello YouTube, this is Charlie426, and today we have the review of the High Grade Universal Sentry, or HGUC Gundam NT-1 Alex. Now this was seen in the War in the Pocket series, and yeah, it's one of the most all-time fan favorite mobile suit slash Gundam that exists. And this is a pretty fairly old kit. It's basically before number 52 as my standards holds on. And yeah, I can see why this kit is very popular among the fans. Okay, so beyond that, let's also, I would like to mention that I would like to thank everybody who watched my live stream yesterday and asked me a lot of questions, gave me a lot of requests. I also had a really good time talking to you guys, and also, yeah, just overall, I just want to thank you for those who were able to watch or attempt, join my live stream. Anyway, let's get on to the review. First of all, what you get, of course, is the Gundam Alex itself. I'm going to call it Alex for now because I don't want to say NT-1 Alex all the time. And as you can see on the side, those are all the Chobham armor parts, which I will show how they work. The rest you get are all of these stuff. First, number one, the beam saber, molded beam saber. Now, as far to my knowledge, the NT-1 Alex or Gundam Alex was the last HGUC kit to use one of these things. So, just let you guys know. I won't be showing that one because there's also another alternative. But for now, you get the shield. Very nice, efficient looking shield. You get its beam rifle, which I have some questions regarding the design in my own opinion, but yeah. You get two of its Gatling guns. That's supposed to be in its arms, but this is a high grade, so I don't really mind. And lastly, you get one sticker sheet and one decal sticker sheet. So, as you can see on the sticker sheet, I only used the eyes and the head cameras. The rest I colored. This one is in black and gold, yellow. For mine, I actually use red and yellow. I'll explain my reasons for that. And then lastly, here's a sticker decal sheet. According to the manual, you don't really use everything, so you do have some leftover ones. Just letting you guys know. And beyond that, some leftover polycaps. Okay, now let's get on to the review. First of all, let's look at the kit itself. Once again, the reason I'm reviewing this and did the live stream yesterday was because of the upcoming Tristan that's coming out on, I believe it said it's coming out on June or something. Okay, now let's look at the head. Now this kit is kind of panel lining. It requires panel lining in order to make it look good. As you can see, I did most of the panel lining except for a few parts. What I panel line are the ones that I saw were most essential. So let's look at the head. The head, very basic looking head, and I do like the overall design where it has that RX-78 vibe, but in a more different yet simple way, or more, I don't know, delicate way, whatever you prefer to say. The head, very nice design. The eyes are a sticker, and the head camera front and back are a sticker. So for head articulation, you can go down that much, up that much, and 360 shouldn't be a problem at all. And as you can see, somehow, according to the instruction manual, you're supposed to put this one back on the head and this one as well. There's a lot of these number 4 stickers. I believe this is the Gundam Unit 4, if I remember correctly, or I could be wrong because it's kind of confusing as far as my know. No, this is not Unit number 4, but I'm not really sure what this number 4 means. Because as far as my Unit 4 and 5 were the blue and red Gundam, and simple, that uses the Gatling gun and the beam cannon. But yeah, okay. So we seen the head. The neck joint is a polycap ball joint, just letting you guys know. And also, as you can see, for the face or head, I colored the face lines here and then the vents here because the head just looked too plain without any panel lining. Okay, now for the body. There's nothing too special going on the body, just your typical Gundam body. And there's another sticker decal I used. And on the backpack, once again, more sticker decals, more panel lining, and yada yada. Okay, now let's look at the arms. Each arm I used the sticker decals like the instruction manual told me. Number 4, UNT Spacey. Yeah, kind of weird terminology to use, but yeah. Yeah, as I did sort of messed up some of the vents going on, thrusters, that's on the shoulders, but yeah, I colored the insides in black. Now, technically, I believe some parts has to be red, but with the Gundam markers I have, it's not going to be easy to color those. And all these black lines are also panel lines. Now the arms, this being an old kit and being before number 52, you don't have any shoulder articulations. The arm is just connected to the main body that has a peg on it. There's no like movement going on. But beyond that, you can still go 360. You can still spin it 360, which is fine, and you have your typical 360 twist on the arm, and you get a 90-degree bend. Now, one thing, also the hands are your typical ball jointed hands. You get, oh, I forgot to mention that you get three hands, 2 of them multi-purpose and 1 trigger hand, but that doesn't have a peg in it, but it works pretty well. The hands are here on your typical ball joint connection. However, one thing I found interesting is that usually you will leave the hand like this, where the wrist / hand will be on an angle. I find this pretty interesting, because usually you would expect to see like on the having a straight arm, but yeah. Once again, this is being the high grade version. The Gatling gun is not stored in here. I will show you guys how that works. Now, I didn't mention body movement because you can't really spin a 360 because of the way how the bottom section, the upper body section is connected. So if you want to spin it, you have to pull it out a little bit, then you can spin it around, because you can see there's a hinge going on there. Which I don't really mind, because even in the anime, even the Alex, there wasn't much like radical movement going on. For the front skirt, you're just typical one piece. I believe this is before you can actually detach each section, so this is a single piece. And once again, I also did the panel lining there everywhere. Side skirt, they don't move too much. They're just pretty much stuck in there. Back skirt doesn't move at all. Oh, another thing I should mention about the arms do not go to the side 90 degrees because of the design. For the legs now, let's see. The legs can go 90 degrees up front. They can't go to the side because there's no side swivels, and it's connected to a ball joint. And then you have a 90-degree bend, which I think it would be pretty much enough for a kid of its age. And that's that. And you have your typical ball jointed feet. I don't know why, but I do like the leg design, and somehow it's really interesting. Another sticker that you're supposed to use are these red sections on the knees, but I just colored in the red Gundam marker. And here is the part where I should explain. Now, this crotch section is supposed to be black and then yellow. What I did was, I somehow accidentally, I don't know, maybe I just didn't think properly, but I just colored it in red and then colored the V section in gold. And then I realized it's black, so I actually erased all the Gundam marker and then did it in black and gold again. But somehow it looked really awkward because, I don't know, black did not fit in, so I decided to use red. And I don't know, it makes more sense to me, so that's why I decided to go for this color. Okay, now that's pretty much it. Now let's look at its equipment. Now, first of all, I think I want to get rid of the beam rifle first. The beam rifle. As a kid, I always thought this was a machine gun because of the design. I don't know if this was... It's a really interesting design. Usually you would expect a machine gun to look like this, but yeah, it's a beam rifle for some reason. The way how the instruction manual tells you to hold it is, in order to have a firing position, is to do it like this, I believe. Somehow. Yeah, so you can have it holding it straight. And my camera's having some issues focusing. Like that. I mean, sure, you can technically do this as well if it's really your preference. So just letting you guys know. And despite not having a peg system going on the handle, it holds pretty well. It's kind of wobbly, but not too bad. And that's that. And I should now mention the beam saber. Now the beam saber, you get 2 hilts which are detachable, and they have the holes for the beam saber effect. And you can technically use this and color it, but I'm pretty sure anybody who's now more used to modern kits are not going to like that. So what you can do is, if you have a leftover beam saber, you can attach this, and it fits in perfectly. Yeah, and you can actually use a beam saber effect if you want to, and it holds it with no problem at all. Just letting you guys know. Okay, then that's that. And I think I'll take off the beam sabers for now for the Chobham armor. Lastly, let's look at its shield and Gatling gun. The shield, now the shield design is excellent. However, what I'm having trouble with it's its connection. Once again, that's a sticker decal number 4, UNT Spacey. I also panel lined all the lines here. The way how this connects, now you have a handle here, and then you have this clip thing that's connected to a ball joint. The way how this works is you put the handle here, and then it's supposed to clip onto that blue section part on the arm, which is fine, but sometimes it doesn't really work that well. So yeah, but I really do like the shield. So that's that. Now let's look at its final, famous gimmick is its Gatling gun. Now you get 2 of these Gatling guns, so it's 1 per each arm. So I'm just gonna show you guys one. You have to take this part off, and then you get to connect the Gatling gun like that, and then just reattach the blue piece, and there you go. You have the Gatling gun gimmick. Really interesting gimmick, and I really like the concept where like built-in weapon concepts like this. The high grade is like this, but the master grade, which I also bought and then we'll be reviewing next week, actually is capable of doing this without replacing any parts. Okay, that's that. Now let's look at its final, one of the other famous gimmicks. It's Chobham armor. Okay, now I think I'll leave the arms like this. Now I'm going to show you guys how to attach the Chobham armor. First of all, even the instruction manual tells you to take off the beam saber handles. So I think I'll go with the legs because, I don't know, it's the most tricky part for me to do. For the legs, you have these 2 sections here. The one that has the axe goes inside. Now for the first time I was doing this, the legs did not somehow match up, but time to time they will work. And then you have this single piece. And you just attach it. Now this one has also a left and right difference, so just letting you guys know. And there's another back section to connect. This will now give you a more secure connection so it doesn't fall off or pop out. There you go, you have the legs. So all you need to do is do the same thing for the other leg as well. Once you get one leg right, it's pretty much easy to do the other because you know what to do now. Yeah. I was thinking of like skipping this, but a lot of people were also asking me to show the Chobham armor, how you connect them. Basically, how this works is that there's no holes or pegs that's on the Chobham armor that connects to the main mobile suit. It's just the Chobham armor connects to each other, so there's no, like, unlike the certain armor, like full armor Gundams, it doesn't have that thing. Okay, so now we have the legs. Now I think I'll go with the arms. The arms, once again, I believe there's no, you don't really need to care about which X is supposed to go in, so it's really up to your preferences. You just need to slide it in, match it in place like that. Just match it in place like that, and then close the other side, wrong section. One thing is to be careful because you might actually break one of the pegs if you're not too careful. So don't like go too rough on it. You don't want to break at the last minute. There we go. And same goes for the other arm. Now, one thing about the Chobham armor, I'm not sure if it's really meant for battle efficiency because I don't think any mobile suit would be really efficient in moving with this gigantic heavy armor on. I mean, sure, there was the Gym Cannon too, but that's kind of a different story. Okay, now we got the arms. Now I think I'll do with the shoulders. Now, technically, there's an order that the manual tells you to do, but the arms and legs, it doesn't really matter which order you do. The way how the armor connects, there's actually a peg going on, as you see in there, and then there's a hole on the shoulder, and you just need to slide it in, and there you go. You have a connection. Okay, now let's see. Now I'm going to connect the back skirt first. This kind of required, or what you can do is you can pull off a little bit so you can do it more easily. So for the back skirt, there's a peg going on that has a polycab inside. There's a hole, and then there's a peg here. Just need to push it in and firm connection. And now for the backpack, this is actually 3 pieces that's connected together, so just letting you guys know. You want to do this first before you do that. According to the manual, you just need to slide it in and match it up. There you go. Now, according to the instruction manual, they tell you to pull out the arms a little bit so there's a gap, but you don't really need to pull off that much. And then you have the front body armor. You just need to snap it in, and there you go. It doesn't really, there's no peg that connects to the main body. It just connects to the 2 pegs that's been, from the back armor. And lastly is the front screw, which is the most part I'm having issues with. This thing does not really latch on to anything. You just need to like push it in, and hopefully it stays in there for some reason, I think. And yeah, there you go. You have it with this Chobham armor. Now with the Chobham armor, you can't connect the shield. I mean, sure, you can hold the beam rifle, but I don't think it's a really recommended thing, because you can force it in, but it's going to be in a really awkward position. So once in the Chobham armor, it's pretty much on its own. Also, one thing that I should mention is remember to put the beam sabers back in. And there you go. You have it in its Chobham armor mode. It's a really interesting gimmick for its time, and also despite its lack of articulation on the shoulders and not having side swivels, it's still a great kit. It's a really good kit to have, and it's one of the kits that proves that old kits does not mean it's a bad kit. I can recommend this to anybody. It's really a basic build, really recommended for anybody, except for the panel lining aspects. So yeah, great kit. Anyway, thank you for watching the review. This was the review of the HGUC NT-1 Gundam Alex. If you got any questions or requests, leave a comment below. If I got anything wrong, leave a comment below as well. I still have more kits to buy and build, so please stay tuned. And if you enjoyed the review, please like my videos and also subscribe to my channel. Until then, see you guys next time!